Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the hard knuckles of knowledge, or at least copying Captain Xavier's style. If you don't know who Captain Xavier is someone who's a lot better than me with this, but I thought I'd go ahead and test this out for this particular review. So, ladies and gentlemen, as you know, I am a huge fan of conversion kits, if you couldn't tell by this point. But, ladies and gentlemen, the conversion kit I'm talking about is, of course, one that is very lovely. Now, we all know about, of course, Angel Customs MP5 conversion kit. This one right here, of course, is rather nice. The whole metal with polymer, but kind of an issue here when it uses MP5 magazines. But again, it's very nice, you know, basic, bare bones, and not that expensive in the long run. However, this is not the first conversion kit to allow an AR to use submachine gun magazine. No. That goes to Classic Army, or in this case, STAR. STAR, if you don't know, is a Asian... yeah, it's basically an Asian company who is doing parts and stuff, but... this is where we get to have a little fun. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you, of course, the Classic Army, or STAR, conversion kit for Uzi magazines. Yes, this is actually a part of a rather interesting thing. These have been scarce for a while, until recently on Amazon, you can now pick these up again. Sadly, the magazines themselves, you cannot. You have to buy them straight from STAR themselves, and these magazines are only 50 rounds. But, we'll get to that in a second. But no, what I want to talk about is just the conversion kit itself. This is old school. I'm talking old school, and unlike the newer kit, it actually has a BB stopper. Sadly, this one does not. Would it have been that hard to make this? Like, seriously, just it's whatever. Anyway, so unlike this, of course, well, unlike this one right here is old school. I'm talking old school. This is, of course, made for all Armalite-style magazine wells. It has a back stop right here, which actually does actuate a little thing here. Has a little dimple in there. It is designed primarily for this, the STAR AEP magazine, or at least this magazine, from what I've found, is proprietary for just this mag converter here. Now, I say that, but again, research is kind of bleh. So if anyone has any information for the STAR magazines for Uzis, for an Uzi AEP that was a STAR Uzi mag, let me know in the comment section. Now, another thing I'm going to have to tell you now about this magazine is it is not steel. It is all polymer, baby. 100% Asia-compliant polymer magazine. But it does still have the, of course, trademarks of an Uzi magazine. You know, you got all the way to the 32 rounds. You have that little stoppers right here, little slit right there for the mag catch that actually is on the pistol grip. And, of course, once again, you know, standard magazine stuff. But again, wouldn't have been really that hard to do that, to make a metal magazine like this. I'm just saying. Now, the other big thing you're going to want to look at is the dimple here and the indent here. Why is that? Well, it's to actually line up with the dimple, if you can see that right there in the camera, right there, and of course the catch here. And once it is in there, we just make sure it's able to get in there, which, again, gotta love they actually have this little slit right there for all those techies in mind. But it lines up perfectly with that. And again, I do like that. Now, unlike, and again, the whole enclosure around it, I like that. Unlike, of course, today's modern conversion magazine, which is this. Now, there is another conversion mag out there. And I say conversion mag because technically this is basically just the half of a Armalite magazine that allows you to basically fit submachine gun or PCC magazines. There is another converter out there by Vulcan that I really want to check out. But yeah, one of those things. But the big thing is that unlike this one is not enclosed and has all that opened. But again, it's one of those things. Oh boy. But moving back to this, I like the enclosed because, one, it actually strengthens a little bit, keeps the magazine in place so it's not as wobbly. Unlike this, which you can go ahead and take an obvious of, this sucker's gonna wobble. Yeah, so let's just go ahead and obviously point out what they've improved over the years versus what has not been improved. What has been improved from this? Well, this. When comparing this to this, you can see an obvious difference. The magazine catches are pretty, yeah, there's a big difference there. Unlike the little puny one here, we have the very big one here, which will actually, yeah, we'll get to that in a bit. The other one, of course, is obviously the design. This one's more enclosed, while this one is not. And each one has their own design philosophies around them. But again, each one has their own... You get what I'm saying, though. Each one is designed differently. However, this one is definitely more 3D printer friendly as well as this one, but... Again, it kind of comes down to... Focus. It kind of comes down to... really who wants what. But enough of my gabbing. Let's go ahead, load up this magazine, and put this into a little Armalite itself. And, well, let's see if this feeds all right, if after so many years there's any issues with the design, or, anything of that nature. Let's load her up! Alright, so we have, of course, our Colt Magpul M4 here, which, not complete yet, but watch my video for that if you want to know more. So, we have, of course, the conversion kit right here, and like I said, it's definitely not as pronounced in terms of the mag release right there as, say, of course, the MP5 one, which we will do a contrast and comparison when we get all three mag converters in, and we actually do a comparison back to back, and we kind of talk about their pros and cons for each and every single one of them. But, ladies and gentlemen, we're talking about the Uzi, the Star Uzi magazine, of course, mag converter, which, before I continue on, I want to give a big shout out to my buddy Patrick over at Tupelo Airsoft Club, and of course, Norwest Airsoft. He is the reason why we're able to review this product today, and I cannot thank him enough for giving me the opportunity to actually talk about this. I hope I work with him more in the future to actually do more cool, products like this in the future, because, again, you don't see these anywhere. Not a lot, actually. And I cannot wait to actually do more of these in the future, at least, insertable conversion kits that don't cost a lot, but definitely give you a big cost value down the road. So, enough gabbing, let's go ahead and grab the Uzi magazine itself, which, again, all polymer. And something I want to kind of talk about is just the whole idea itself about actually having two locking surfaces to keep the BBs in place, because with the MP5 magazine converter, I would, doing this, BBs would have shot all over the place, but with this, I don't have to worry about it. So I could actually keep it out of the gun itself and have it in a mag pouch, pull it out, and just insert it like I would an MP40 magazine or any other straight insert SMG or PCC. Now, with that out of the way, the question is, does this feed well? And we're about to find out. Yes, it does. It actually does feed pretty well. I'm not seeing any double feeds, or I didn't see any double feeds on that first shot. Nope, no double feeds. It's actually feeding pretty good. Now, I know a lot of people are going to say or ask, does this, because this is an honest question, I know everyone's going to ask this, does this affect FPS? Yes, that is a legitimate question, and let's just go ahead and grab the chronograph and see if this does affect FPS at all. Now, this is using a Mark 18 gearbox, and before .2s, we were getting about 360s, 370s. Now, if the FPS does stay that way, then we shouldn't see any real difference whatsoever. If we are seeing a difference, then that's just how it is. So, let's go ahead and put this to the test. Either my chronograph is busted or I'm using the wrong weight BBs, because this is reading in the 100s, the 162s. Let's try that again. We may be getting errors. 197, 195, 179, 194, 197. We may be having some errors, because there's no way a mag converter should be affecting the FPS of the actual gun itself. Like, at all. There should be nothing affecting the FPS. And I have not changed the spring out of this whatsoever. So, that is legitimately weird. I'm going to keep shooting just to see if the FPS does change any. I'm not joking on this. You're seeing this too, right? You're... Focus, camera. I am not making this up whatsoever, yet I think what's going on is, I believe... I think I gotta reset this. I'm resetting it just to make sure I'm not... There's nothing wrong with it. Just to see. Okay, now I'm getting meters. I don't want meters, I want feet. Fucking 192 feet per second. I'm not even joking on this, folks. This is beyond weird. This has never happened to me before. It really hasn't. But yet, aside from that, weirdness, so far the magazine is feeding really well out of this. I'm not joking. Like, it is feeding surprisingly well. And we're empty. We are legitimately empty. Now I'm going to do this just to kind of... Okay, that's interesting. So, pulling this out, just to kind of dump it in here. Ah. Oh boy. Okay then. Okay, so that's definitely a thing. So, alrighty then. That weirdness aside, the mag converter itself does not have any issues. I am pleasantly surprised by that. The magazine itself is polymer, so you may want to... Sorry, I'm a little bit childish with that, but that is legitimately kind of interesting. But no, the mag converter does not do anything wrong. It's legitimately there. I have no negative things to say about this. It is honestly solidly built for a Asia compliant mag converter. Being the first converter for this, yes, the first converter. Now, you may correct me in the comment section down below for those of you who are historically Airsoft inclined in terms of the history of Airsoft. But I will say this. This right here, legitimately, I'm for like under 20 bucks, this is definitely something you want to go with. And for a pack of 4, these are like 20 bucks for a pack of 4 of these. So say you got under 20 bucks, you can get this plus 20, that's like 40 right there. You basically have 5 of these. That is, let me get my math right on this, my 50 rounders. So we got 50, 100, 150, 200, 250. That's basically one high cap. But you get a few more, and that's just, I got nothing. I legitimately have nothing. Seriously, go get this. I have nothing negative to say about this. But if you want to grab this, you can find these on Amazon, or if you want just, you can find this a lot. You can even find them at Star Airsoft, which is basically Star Airsoft Accessories. You can find these, and the magazines themselves. They are not that hard to find now online, but you got to be careful because they will sell out pretty quickly. You can even get this with this little interesting bottle cap opener, which, again, kind of cool itself. But again, a huge shout out to my buddy and my friend Patrick from Tupelo Airsoft Club and Norwest Airsoft for helping me hook me up with this. I cannot praise him enough for this. Anyway, if you want to help out the channel itself and help out with actually getting the Vulcan, yes, Vulcan mag converter next, then consider donating to the PayPal down below. If you've used one of these before, or at least have used these magazines before, and you agree with me in that we need this, but in metal, and an actual legitimate metal Uzi AEP, a proper Uzi AEP, then sound off in the comments section down below. And as always, ladies and gentlemen, I've been AirsoftAL, and I will see you lovely, lovely people in the next video. Till next time, later.
Looking for that perfect game for your gaming console? Video Game Corner is the largest independently owned video gaming store in North Mississippi, located at 1519 Highway 72 in Corinth. We are an authorized limited-run retail store and have a massive collection of retro games and game systems, and also plush toys and collectibles. We also pay top dollar for your used video games. Check them out Monday through Saturday from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. Visit Video Game Corner in Corinth.